At 22 years old, she filed for bankruptcy and told millions of people it wasn't that bad. The internet froze. Some called it the smartest financial reset you can make. Others said she may have just sabotaged the next decade of her life, because what sounds like a fresh start can quietly become a financial shadow that follows you for years. And her situation raises a question more young adults are starting to ask. When is bankruptcy a lifeline? And when does it become a decision you outlive? She was a young mother living in a camper in Texas, staring down $91,000 in debt, $51,000 on a truck, $5,000 on a motorcycle, over $13,000 on the camper she was living in, medical bills already in collections, credit card balances climbing, and student loans that weren't going anywhere. For someone barely into adulthood, it was a crushing weight. So she made a decision many people fear, but more are beginning to consider. She filed for bankruptcy. Then she opened social media and said something that instantly split the internet. Filing really isn't as bad as people make it out to be. The reaction was immediate. Supporters praised her for taking control. Critics warned she might not yet understand the road that follows a decision like this, because bankruptcy doesn't erase your financial story, it rewrites it. Once she realized the debt was more than she could realistically manage, she didn't guess her way through it. She spoke with a bankruptcy attorney to understand her options, because this isn't a simple financial decision. It's a legal one. During the filing, she made a deliberate choice. She decided to keep the camper, the place she was living, and continue carrying that debt. But the truck and the motorcycle, she chose to surrender them as part of the process. If she hadn't filed, keeping up with those payments may have become impossible anyway, and repossession could have followed, possibly even threatening the camper itself. Bankruptcy gave her a controlled reset instead of a slow collapse, but resets come with consequences. Her credit will likely take a major hit, sometimes as much as 200 points, and the record of bankruptcy can remain on a credit report for up to 10 years. Future lenders will see it. Landlords may see it. Insurers may see it. A mortgage, likely out of reach for several years. This is why bankruptcy is rarely an easy button. It can remove pressure, while simultaneously closing doors. Still, for people drowning financially, it can create something priceless: breathing room. What made her video spread wasn't just the debt, it was her calm. At an age when many people are just opening their first credit card, she made one of the most serious financial decisions available in the system. No visible panic, no public regret, just certainty that it was the right move for her situation. And maybe that's why millions watched. Because debt has a way of making people feel trapped, and everyone wants to believe there's an exit. But her story also highlights something that often gets overlooked. Most people don't end up here overnight. Debt usually feels manageable, right up until it isn't, which is why the most powerful financial protection often comes before bankruptcy is even on the table. Pausing before signing loans that stretch your income, making it a rule to spend less than you earn, understanding what your payments are really costing you over time, and if the debt already feels unsettling, there are ways to regain control without immediately turning to bankruptcy. It starts with clarity, listing out every debt, nailing down your exact income. Those two numbers alone can change how trapped a situation feels. From there, many people turn to the snowball method, paying off debts from smallest to largest, not because it's mathematically perfect, but because momentum matters. Each balance that disappears restores a sense of control. Cutting expenses where possible can create early breathing room, and increasing income through raises, overtime, or side hustles often makes the biggest difference long term. For her, the decision has already been made. The paperwork will clear, some debts will disappear, some consequences will remain. And now comes the rebuild. Debt is becoming a defining reality for more young adults than anyone expected. Yet the line between relief and long-term consequence is rarely obvious when you're standing inside the pressure. So let's talk about it. Do you see bankruptcy as a smart reset or a last resort? And if you were overwhelmed by debt, would you try restructuring first or choose a clean break, even if it meant carrying the mark for years? Drop your perspective in the comments. If this story made you pause and think differently about financial escape routes, subscribe for more real money stories, the decisions, and the consequences.